Welcome back, Truth Seeker. February 1st, 2019. Today, Senator Cory Booker announced that he's running for the president for the Democratic Party, joining Kamala Harris. And of course, today's the first day of Black History Month. So it's one of CNN's top stories all morning. Notice you have Cory Booker, Obama, and Harris front and center. Obama's reluctance on race gives way to roars from Booker and Harris. And think about how we use the word race in terms of our ethnicity, also in terms of a political race. So I think a little wordplay by the media there. But I want to show you something about why Cory Booker, who's a senator, which means he's a puppet on strings, announced today, beyond it being the first day of Black History Month. I want you to see just how sick of a riddle this is. I want to reflect it with Harris's announcement on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and also show you what's so interesting about Obama's August 4th birthday and how it lines up with Black History Month. Something we haven't talked about for a while. Then we'll call Cory Booker's office, and it might be closed because they're on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast. We'll see if we can get a hold of Cory Booker. If we can't, we'll call Harris's office. She's on the West Coast. They should be open. So today, February 1st, 2019, it's a date with 42 numerology, this number that's stamped all over Black history, most notably known through Jackie Robinson. Notice in the language of Gematria, February sums to 42. The N-word's 42, the nickname Jackie's 42. We talked about how LeBron James returned yesterday, January 31st, on Jackie's birthday. LeBron James equals 42. But Jackie 42, slavery 42, Tuskegee 42, Martin 42. Makes you think of Martin Luther King Jr. Harris just announced she was running on his birthday. The sitcom Martin, he lives in apartment 42. Malcolm X is 42. What's interesting is when you write out 42 as a word, it sums to 142, like President Obama. And just as I was about to go on, I ended up starting a few minutes late because I got an update in the right corner that there was this breaking news. Virginia's governor might be shown in blackface and a KKK costume in his yearbook. And this is how the media loves to do things, just contrive stories by the numbers. Notice he's 59 years old. We're going to get to why 59 matters. February, Black History Month ends on the 59th day of the year. Negro, slave, blues, they all equal 59. He was born in 59. But from his September 13th birthday to this news breaking today, it's his 142nd day of his age. You see how they did that? Not an accident. You know, Black History Month, Virginia, the nation's history, white governor, just some more racially divisive propaganda to remind us of our history, to continue with the ongoing programming of hate and division. So anyway, today's got the 42 date numerology. When you write out 42, it's 142. President Obama's 142. Now get this, from Obama's birthday, August 4th, to today is 181 days. And realize it's this way every single year. From Obama's birthday to the first day of Black History Month, 181 days. That is the 42nd prime number. 42. 42. And notice Barack Obama in Gematria is 181. That's Jewish Gematria. That's the most important cipher outside of the base ciphers. What are the odds that from his birthday to Black History Month, 181 days each year, 181, the 42nd prime in Jewish Gematria, his name corresponds. Obama alone is 84, like how he's born on August 4th, 84. What are the odds? Again, we talked about many riddles with Obama in the presidency. In case you're new here, in our most pure cipher, Barack Hussein Obama equals 64, just like civil rights equals 64. He was elected the 44th president 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. MLK killed on 4-4. Malcolm X killed on a date with 44 numerology. His assassin got 44 years in prison. African American in the septenary cipher equals 44. Hope with the alphabetic order equals 44. The divisors of 44 sum to 84. When you flip the alphabetic order around, hope equals 64. Again, 44 years after the Civil Rights Act is 64. Obama announced as the 44th president-elect. I forget something. I want to look this up real quick. Barack Obama Secret Service call name. What did they Secret Service call him? Renegade. Renegade. That's right. That's what they called him. I just want to show you this real quick about Renegade here. Secret Service call name. You see that with the alphabetic order, 59? Versus A is 1 up to Z is 26. Negro 59, Slave 59, Blues 59, Rasta 59. In light of Black History Month ending on the 59th day of the year, February. Again, February is 42. Look up Rodney King. His name's 59. Born on April 2nd, 4-2. Supposedly drowned the day that became the date of the Charleston church shooting. But Obama, they called him Renegade, not by accident, because all this stuff's coded. The federal government works by this code every single day. So Cory Booker announced today he's running for the presidency. And it's just sick. From his birthday to today is his 281st day of his age. 281st. The problem with that is 281 is the 60th prime number. And if you write out the N word with just the alphabetic order, it's 60. And then today has the 42 date numerology. It's February. February is also 42. This is not an accident. Cory Booker is a puppet on strings. We've talked about this many times before when he's made the news. Notice the 9 months and 6 days. He was big in the news on September 6th was Booker. You see that? The 96, 9 months and 6 days after his birthday. Go back and see my work on Cory Booker and what was going on September 6th. Said he was putting his whole career on the line. What else jumps out about Cory Booker's name is it has Gematria of 127 and 143, like Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, what's headquartered in Washington, D.C., what George Washington was. They bring up how Kamala Harris is from the Bay Area, where the Black Panther Party was established in '66. For the record, Black History Month 213, Black Panther 213, racism in the Jewish Gematria is 213. Tupac Shakur, for the record, his album All Eyes on Me came out February 13th. He died September 13th, exactly 213 days later. On a date that can be written 13/9. Tupac Shakur died 13/9, 213 days after his 213 album release. His mother was a Black Panther. See how that goes? They said Tupac, his death was the result of a drive-by shooting, 213. Shot on September 7th, dead September 13th. Remember this past year on September 7th, Mac Miller died. LeBron James and Kevin Durant, their song It Ain't Easy came out. A few other riddles, I forget. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B got in a fight. All these things on the anniversary of Tupac getting shot. But this is what it is every single day. Riddles by the numbers. You know the code. You can see through what's really going on. So I want to see if we can get a hold of Cory Booker's office and ask if they're aware of any of this. And if not, we'll just call Kamala Harris and share the same information she announced on Martin's birthday. So let's see. Try the Washington office. It's nearly 6 o'clock on the East Coast, so they might be closed.
Hello, this is Cory Booker, and thank you for calling. To leave a comment or suggestion for me, please press 1. If you'd like to speak with a member of my staff, please press 2.
Thank you for contacting Cory Booker's office. I'm sorry, but at this time, all our lines are busy. Please call back at a later time or leave a message at the tone.
Hi. I saw Cory Booker announced he was running for the presidency today, February 1st, 2019, the first day of Black History Month. Just real quick, I want to educate you on a secret about the English language that you might be aware of, you might not. there's a numerical sequence behind the English language. And as you might know, the number 42 is associated with Black history through the baseball player Jackie Robinson, who wore 42. In the language of Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, February equals 42, Jackie equals 42, Tuskegee equals 42, Martin equals 42, Malcolm X equals 42, the N-word equals 42. It's a lot longer list. Today, February 1st, 2019, 2 plus 1 plus 20 plus 19 also has a numerical value of 42. Every single year from President Obama's August 4th birthday to the start of Black History Month is 181 days, which is the 42nd prime. And in Gematria, President Obama, or Barack Obama, excuse me, equals 181. This stuff's not a coincidence. And Cory Booker, the sick joke with him announcing today, whoever told him to announce today, he should really look into, because today's Cory Booker's 281st day of his age. That's the 60th prime. There are multiple ways to decode a word into numbers. If you just use the alphabetic order, the N-word, N-I-G-G-E-R, it sums to 60. 281 is the 60th prime. Today's Cory Booker's 281st day of his age. I don't know if Cory's aware of any of this, but whoever put him up to it, he should know, because this is what they think of him.
There's 10 seconds of recording time left.
Call me back, 509-731-0567. Got to get you up to speed. Thank you.
To send your message, press 1. To send your message as urgent, press thanks. Your message was sent. Thanks for calling. Goodbye.
All right, so they're probably closed. Pretty sure they close up their offices at 5 p.m. But we can call Kamala Harris too. And hold on, before I call her up. Oh, you guys, you know what I forgot to tell you? I've been talking about this upcoming election now for more than a year, and how it's going to be the 59th U.S. presidential election. So I thought there'd be this, major theme with Black Americans in the election. That's something we've been talking about for more than a year. It's going to be the 58th U.S. presidential election, and we're seeing these Black candidates announced by the numbers. And for another example of 42 and 59, before we call Kamala Harris, Stacey Abrams, Black woman, she's going to give the response to the State of the Union on her 59th day of her age. Her birthday is December 9th. Notice she's 45 years old, responding to number 45. She's going to be responding on the 59th day of her age. And the announcement for this news that she was going to be the one giving the response was January 29th, 2019, a date with 42 numerology as well. See how sick this is? And for the record, Stacey Abrams, I just want you to see her name, Gematria. Stacey Abrams. Recognize the 127. We just saw that with Cory Booker, 127. And she's out there in Georgia, also 127. You missed my work on the Georgia governor's race. Everybody was 127 down there. But here, let me pull up my post about Kamala Harris and just see if there's any other things I should express to them when I got them on the line, because their office will be open. All right, here we go. Look at her full name, 127. Does this seem like an accident to you guys in light of where the federal government operates out of? She just had her first rally on January 27th, 1/27. Her word was fearless. 127 is the 31st prime. California is the 31st state. But what else was there? She's born in 64. Civil rights, Barack Hussein Obama. Let's see. Put out a video on this in case you missed it. It was a date with 47 numerology where she had this first campaign rally. Yeah, in this post, I just shared a lot of information about Freemasonry and the presidency and doing things by the numbers. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting that Harris has the birth numerology that she does, 113. because the election upcoming in 2020 is on a date with 113, or it's on November 3rd, 11/3. So let's pull up her contact information. I'm sure the DC office is closed, so we'll just call the California offices. See if anybody's responsive there.
Hello, and thank you for calling the office of U.S. Senator Kamala Harris. We welcome calls and opinions. If your message is regarding casework assistance, please contact our casework staff via email at casework_harris@harris.senate.gov. If you are calling regarding a specific issue, we would like to remind you that you may also contact Senator Harris at www.harris.senate.gov. If you're requesting a callback, please leave a message with your name, phone number, and a brief description of the issue, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you and have a great day.
I don't want to leave a message. Let's just try the San Francisco office and see if they pick up. And the volume, I don't know why the volume was so quiet on that last line. Their recording was really soft. So hopefully these other ones are louder. All right, San Francisco office.
Thank you for calling the San Francisco office of United States Senator Kamala D. Harris. We welcome your calls and opinions. If your message is regarding casework assistance, please call our office back between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. or leave a message with your name, contact information, and a brief description of your request. If you're leaving a message regarding a specific issue, we would like to remind you that you may also leave a comment for Senator Harris on our website at www.harris.senate.gov. If you would like to leave a message, please include your name, zip code, contact information, and a brief description of what your call is in regard to. Thank you.
Maybe now that she's running for president, they don't answer the phone anymore. Before I've been able to get through to her office. Let's try the Sacramento office. But that was the exact same as the last one.
Hello, you've reached Senator Harris' office. How may I help you?
Yes. Is she available to speak to?
Not currently, but I can pass a message along to her.
Yes, please. And if you have pen and paper handy, I got a lot of information to report to you, and I hope you do take it down and pass it along.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I get your name and zip code?
Yeah, my name's Zach Hubbard, and my zip code is 98901.
All right, Hubbard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go on with your message, please.
Yeah, so I've been educating people about something going on in this nation for more than 5 years now. I've even written a book about it, and I'd be happy to send the electronic version of the book to the senator for her to read. She might really enjoy Chapter 18. It's about the ongoing contrived race war in our media, which is taking place right at this moment. There's breaking headlines about a Virginia governor possibly in blackface and with a KKK costume on. The Jussie Smollett thing going on fits in. The noose is found at GM the week of Martin Luther King. All of this stuff is clockwork when you pay attention. Every year on Jackie Robinson's birthday, which was yesterday, there's some racial incident. This year it's Jussie Smollett. You know, around MLK holiday, it's just the same thing year after year after year. And what people don't realize is not only are these coming around the holidays of well-remembered Black Americans, but the stories are being encoded with two numbers always. And it's the numbers 42 and 59. And of course, a lot of people associate 42 with Jackie Robinson. What people don't realize is that the language of Gematria, which is the practice of coding numbers into words, the name Jackie equals 42. And so does the N-word. February is the month that sums to 42, Black History Month. Anyhow, today's the first day of Black History Month. This year it happens to fall on a date with 42 numerology as well. And this is what people don't understand. The name Martin has Gematria 42. And of course, that makes you think of Martin Luther King Jr. You just had your Senator Harris announce that she's running for the presidency on his birthday, or on his holiday, excuse me. Every single year, from Barack Obama's birthday, the first Black president, to Black History Month, the start of it, February 1st, it's exactly 181 days each year. And that's not an accident. It's the 42nd prime number. And the name Barack Obama sums to 181, the 42nd prime. Today, Cory Booker announced that he's running for the presidency. And again, it's this date with 42 numerology. He's a Black American. You know, we just had Kamala Harris, who's a Black American, announced on Martin's holiday. If you've ever seen the sitcom Martin, you know, are you familiar with the show Martin, the sitcom, the comedy from the 90s?
I'm not.
Well, if you go back and watch it, it was a Black comedy sitcom, revolutionary television. He lived in apartment number 42. And again, the name Martin equals 42 as well. Anyhow, again and again, this racial shaming, this racial encoding. Here's the sick joke about Cory Booker announcing today. He didn't decide to announce today. I guarantee it. That who's ever behind him had him announce today, and he doesn't realize how he's being used and abused. Anyway, from Cory Booker's birthday, which is April 17th, to today is his 281st day of his age. That's the 60th prime number. And when you decode words, there's a couple base ways to do it. You can just use the alphabetic order, or you can use the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. 281, the 60th prime. If you write out the N word and use the alphabetic order, N's the 14th letter, I's the 9th, G's the 7th, G's the 7th, E's the 5th, R's the 18th. The N word sums to 60. This is another number they code sometimes, but not as much as 42. Just use the rules of numerology, the N word's 42. Anyway, so he announces on this date that has the 60 and 42 connection. It might sound complicated, but you learn this code and you recognize what they do year after year, coding the same numbers. It's just so sick. Another number that's coded all over Black history is 59. If you just take the alphabetic order and you write out Negro, if you write out slave, if you write out blues, if you write out Rasta, they all sum to 59. The Secret Service used to call Obama renegade. If you write out renegade with the alphabetic order, it sums to 59. And I said more than a year ago, I said, you just watch when the 59th presidential, the upcoming election is the 59th U.S. presidential election. I just said, watch, when the races start, you're going to see a lot of Black people campaigning. It's going to be a clear riddle, and it's already started. The first two Democrats to announce are two Black Americans, and they both announced on dates that have the 42 connection, because it's always 42 and 59. If you look up Rodney King right now, who was beaten in California on March 3rd, the name Rodney King equals 59, and his birthday supposedly was April 2nd, 4-2. Also, supposedly Rodney King drowned on what became the anniversary of the Charleston church shooting with that character named Dylan Stormroof. Anyway, all of this stuff is by design. It's not an accident. Pay attention to the State of the Union address coming up. The State of the Union, we're going to have Stacey Abrams, the Black politician from Georgia, responding to Donald Trump. And she's going to be responding on her 59th day of her age, and not by accident. She was announced as the speaker to respond on a date with 42 numerology, which was January 29th, just earlier this week. 4259. They put it together again and again and again, and it just never stops. It's year after year. Like I said, I've written a book about this. I would be happy to send my book to the senator and have her read it and realize what she's now become part of. Because I'm writing the next book, and guess who's going to be in there? Her and Cory Booker and everyone else that ends up contributing to this, this ritual in numbers. And I don't know if you're the right person to say this to. I don't know how old you are. I imagine you're younger than me if you haven't heard of the sitcom Martin. I'm not that old myself. I'm 35. But I was 17 years old when there was the 2000 presidential election. I wasn't old enough to vote, but I was old enough to pay attention between Gore and Bush. And of course, all the papers for a month said it was going to come down to Florida, which I thought was weird, and then it did. Because, of course, Bush was the son of the last Republican president, and his brother was the governor in Florida. And George W. Bush went on to be the 43rd president. His brother was the 43rd governor of California. And his father was the 43rd vice president to Reagan. What's funny is the two that were president, they both went to Yale and were members of Skull and Bones, the secret society that identifies by a number. If you write out Yale with the alphabetic order, Y's the 25th letter, A's the first, L's the 12th, E's the 5th, Yale's 43. And other things that sum to 43 include Florida, Masonic. This code's Masonic. So, for example, your first campaign rally for Kamala Harris, her full name equals 127. She has her first campaign rally on January 27th, 1/27. The name Cory Booker is 127. The name Stacey Abrams is 127. And the reason why is because Scottish Rite of Freemasonry is 127. What's headquartered in Washington, D.C., which George Washington is named after. So there's the whole language is a numerical code with meaning. But numbers have meaning, and the numbers 42 and 59 are assigned to Black Americans again and again, often in ritual shaming, and also in things like this, like Black candidates announcing for the 59th U.S. presidential election. So if Miss Harris isn't aware of what she's participating in, and Mr. Cory Booker isn't, I think they certainly should be, and I think they should bring light to this, because there's darker things that happened. Go back and look at what happened last year on Jackie Robinson's birthday, January 31st. Go back and look at what happened on that day. There were 3 deaths in the news headlines that day. A former basketball player, Rajuel Butler. There was also the death of former baseball player Oscar Gamble. And there was also the death of Don Lemon's sister from CNN. Her name was LaTanya Lemon. And what's interesting about all 3 of those Black people who died on Jackie Robinson's birthday that were top news headlines, all 3 of their names summed to 42, like how Jackie Robinson wore 42. And worse yet, with regards to Don Lemon's sister, supposedly she was fishing by herself in a freezing pond and fell in. What's sick about it is the word pond equals 59. So does the name Lemon, like Negro. And if you want to do something to educate yourself, go look up this song from 1983 called Murder by Numbers by the band The Police. It's about how killing people's the sport of the elite, and it's the way to get to the top of your profession. And then ask yourself if you really think Don Lemon's sister accidentally fell in a freezing pond while fishing in the middle of January. So I appreciate that you listened, and I hope you do get the message to the senator. And I'll look up her email address, and I will send her a copy of my book just to see if she responds. I think she would really appreciate reading it and see just what's been going on all throughout history again and again by the same repetitive patterns, day after day, month after month, year after year. And sadly, this has gone on, thousands of times over. These are just the 2 latest incidents, her and Cory Booker. So,
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'll make sure to pass the message along about the ties with the Gematria and 42 and
59.
the tie with the media and I'm sorry, what is it?
42 and 59. That's why February is the
59, right.
February is the awkward month that ends on the 59th day of the year. 42 and 59, and February is the one month that sums to 42. Not an accident.
Absolutely. I'll make sure to pass that along to the senator, all right? And hopefully you send that book via email and she can see it herself.
Okay,
All right.
I hope she gives a copy to you too and everybody else there in the office. Everyone deserves to have this knowledge. So I'm going to send that book right now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, Mr. Hubbard. You have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, it sounds like she was a good listener and she was sincere. So I should try Maxine Waters' office. Called Maxine Waters months ago, and I was sharing something similar, and her person laughed at me. It's like, I got more important things to do. I was like, okay, you don't want to know how this is going on, huh? Yeah, we'll save it for later. I could call more offices, but I still got to do a podcast yet tonight. A few other things to do. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Please also be sure to share these videos. And if you haven't picked up the book yourself, 800 pages, again, only $5. Come read the reviews. A lot of very happy people. A lot of very important knowledge. If you want to learn more about this race code, you can just skip right to Chapter 18. Chapter 18's all about the contrived race war by the numbers throughout history. And these same patterns, they've come together, I don't know, at least 100 times since I released this book in March. Always with the 42 and 59. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.